Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions is a game that I have been anticipating to play for a long time, and once I got a copy of it and I got to play it, okay, I'm satisfied. Is it perfect? No, but let's talk about it. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions was probably one of the first times that they fully embraced the whole multiverse aspect. I know the cartoons did it as well around this time, 1994 Spider-Man in particular. But here's where it was basically the whole story, where it was just fully embracing the multiverse. And I gotta say that I did enjoy the game. I thought it was really fun, and I really think that this is one of the better games out there. It's not perfect. It's not even an A. Spoiler alert: it's around the B range, but I'll give you a final rating by the end of this. Um, the cool thing about it is how we got here, and I thought it was gonna be this overly complicated story, and it wasn't. It was actually kind of simple. So the story basically going around was that Mysterio is trying to steal this stone that basically messes with the fabric of time and all these different dimensions. And then we have Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man to be exact, basically fight off Mysterio. He accidentally breaks the piece, and all these pieces are into different dimensions. Then Madam Web comes in and says that we need to get all those pieces back in order to, save the universes and stuff like that. So, throughout the game, you are trying to find these pieces, and you are basically four different Spider-Man. And the cool thing that I really liked about the four of them is that they were all voiced by old cartoon Spider-Man. Like the Amazing Spider-Man, the one we all know and love, was voiced by Neil Patrick Harris, who I've had hard opinions for in the past, but here was like a huge improvement. I think he did a way much better job here than he did in his animated series. Christopher Daniel Barnes voiced Spider-Man Noir, who I thought was the best casted one out of all of them, and I really did enjoy his work. And I'll talk more about the gameplay right now. Ultimate Spider-Man, who was a black suited symbiote Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure the reason why he was is because we wanted to differentiate the Ultimate and the Amazing Spider-Man, which makes sense. So, fine having here. He's voiced by Josh Keaton, who we all know Spectacular Spider-Man is one of my goats. The one that I'm questioning was Dan Gleavenson, who was in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. He voices Miguel O'Hara here, and the voice just didn't fit. If I'm being honest, he sounded like he didn't fit. Like, honestly, you know who I would have picked? Drake Bell. I know technically he wasn't a Spider-Man yet. If you look at it from a technicality standpoint, Drake Bell was Dragonfly, a parody of Spider-Man in the superhero movie, which was not the best, but it would have been cool if you think about it, and maybe it could have done some foreshadowing. After all, it is Spider-Man 2099. That's what I would have picked. It was pretty cool to have them all being voiced by original cartoon Spider-Man. That was actually a really cool way of kind of tying it all together. But honestly, they did a good job of showing you the different animations. Like Ultimate Spider-Man was more cartoony, Noir was more dark and gritty, Amazing Spider-Man was more classic, and 99 was more futuristic. So they did a great job of balancing all four worlds and having you different battles. And they even changed up some of the looks of some of these characters. Like Scorpion was an actual Scorpion, which I really like. It gives you throwbacks of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse's Green Goblin, how he was an actual goblin. They actually have female Doc Ock here. Juggernaut is a character you fight in this game. They do an amazing job of showing you all different kinds of villains. Venom and Carnage, you gotta have them. So they basically throw you everybody. And basically, once you fight all these guys, you get pieces of this stone throughout the game, and that was actually really cool. Now let's talk about the negatives. By far, the biggest negative was that you don't actually interact with all four of these at the same time until the end, the final battle. I'll get to that when we get to it. But yeah, these four never interact until the end. And that was kind of disappointing. I kind of wanted them to interact, work with each other. I understand that you wanted to explore them separately, but it would have been cool if mid game you are already all formed together. That would have been actually really nice. Maybe they could have taken the Marvel Ultimate Alliance concept of like four players at a time, and you basically can choose throughout the game who do you change. But then again, if maybe the animation was would have been a little off. I do understand that part, but it was kind of disappointing that you don't actually talk with the rest of them. And the gameplay itself, while nice, I do like that all of them do different things. But when it comes to actual fighting, there's times where like the control sets you are moving around too much, and you're not even hitting anybody. It looks like the camera guy is just going crazy, and it's just very lame if I'm being honest. And I don't like it. And then the big one, the final boss battles, they can get some of them can actually get really annoying. There's one where there's a lot of them where the villain gets so close to you and you're just punching him or her left and right, and it's just too distracting. It's like they try to do a Resident Evil game or something like that, and I didn't like it. It was too much for me, and it was just like ew, and especially because these guys are very fucking ugly. But we do get the final battle with Mysterio, where we find out that he had the last piece hidden, and he turns himself to this big giant monster. Which I'm like, that's not who Mysterio is. It didn't fit. Like Scorpion, you can make the argument for. Green Goblin, you can make the argument for. Mysterio, I do. It would have been cool if you just had him kind of like playing mind games with him. He does play a part in being well mysterious, and basically that's when you have all four Spider-Man fighting him off. And I don't know, it did feel weird. Maybe Mysterio wasn't the correct villain for the final battle. It does make sense for him in the beginning, but maybe not the end. It was I did like the battle. It was very nice to play as. It was really cool. What I do like is that by the end of it, you have the four men in their own universe, and then they actually have a really cool shot of like Spider-Man swinging, but it's pieces of each Spider-Man from their own universes. That was actually really cool, and the final narration of Stanley was beautiful. You can never go wrong with Stanley. Um, but yeah, this game I was surprised. I actually had a lot of fun. Does it have a lot of problems? Yes, they do, but it is fun. The animation was take it or leave it. Sometimes I do like that they explored. I think that's the big one thing that I appreciate from this. I will give it a B plus. It is a strong B plus. It's not a perfect game, but it's a really fun game to play, and I recommend you to check it out if you ever get the chance to do it. Play it on a PS3 or something. If you play it on a Nintendo DS or something like that, it's not gonna be the same. But yeah, it was a really fun game, and I do recommend it. Next up on this review series, we are getting close to the end, but we still got a bunch of movies to talk about. Well, not a bunch, but just the main ones. But Spider-Man Far From Home will be my next review here, and I cannot wait to talk about that movie and share with you my opinions that may or may not differentiate from everybody else in the world. But anyways, take care, everybody.